Greetings and welcome to the Inner Den. We got Summer Camp Edition in the house. We also have a guest with us today who is on our travels on our summer camp, Mr. Scott Holmes. He was our lead author in the most recent book that has been published with Brave Healer Productions, From Burnout to Burning Bright. Thanks for coming and hanging with us, Scott.
Hey, it's been great.
It really has. Why don't you give the listeners a little bit of information about you?
Oh, I am an avid listener of the Inner Den, and much to their chagrin. And I have been an author in 17 books now. I was the lead author for the book she was referring to, from Burnout to Burning Bright, that came out in May. It has been an Amazon bestseller in 3 countries, which was wonderful. But more importantly, I got to work with and meet Angel over this last year, and it has been extraordinary. She wanted to have a session where she brought people to Western Canada, the Canadian Rockies. I've never been. I was really intrigued, and it has not been boring. So
Yep,
I'll leave you
that
there.
is a
I'll leave you there.
that is a fact. Before we get into that, I would love to hear, Rashawn, how your week went. We were talking about last week.
Yeah, we were
Say
gonna
it.
thrive this week, weren't we?
Yes, thank you.
I
The word.
have not. I was actually thinking about this before the call because I could easily come in here and say that I haven't been thriving, but I think that if that is my goal to thrive, the things that have been coming up to the surface this past week are some of the stuff that I need to get through and over to be able to thrive. And so I'm grateful that those things have risen to the surface. I've had at least one of the difficult conversations that I needed to have, and we're moving forward in an effort to create something different there. That's in my work life. And then there's some other things that have just been arising that I know I need to address. And I will get to that when the time presents itself and it arises. And then, yeah, today has been an adventurous day where the guys that have been working on the road came in and told me they cut the water line to my house. And the afternoon has been just spent like getting them water, making sure they had what they need. And they just got it fixed. And literally 5 minutes before I got on here, I was turning on all the faucets to let them run some and get them repressurized. So I have water again, so that's good. I don't need to go camp out myself somewhere tonight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's wild that you're still having the water stuff. We've been on a water journey over here too, but yours went the explode way.
He did it with the tractor, so it's not
Right.
really.
Cut
It wasn't
the
exactly an
wire.
explosion as much as it was just ripping it up. But
Yeah.
also, I never knew where that water line ran, and it's obnoxious the way it's run in that it's outside of my fence line. So now I know where it is.
Now you know where it is. Location is key.
Yes.
Yes. Our stalking is thriving. It has been, what are we on day 4? We're on day 4 of this Wild Hearts, Hot Springs and Wild Hearts adventure that we are on, and it has been a wild ride. Every day there has been divine timing. The pattern recognition is there. I'm sure Scott will talk more about that. He has been very accurately keeping track of all the things. So why don't you go ahead, Scott, and tell Michonne some of the things that have been going on.
Oh, geez. You were talking about thriving. You were talking about thriving. Last weekend, I did my first firewalk.
Yay!
That's how we started.
Yeah, and it was life altering in the way that I still don't understand it, but I know it, and I know it It's, as they said, when the energy, your energy matches or exceeds that of the fire, and walk through it. And I show it to friends of mine, and they're like, "You didn't really do that." I'm like, "Who is that?" It's me. I'm walking across. So it was life altering in that. And then I come on Friday, and Angel picks me up, and the next day we go to the Calgary Zoo. Now, it sounds strange for someone to want to go to a zoo. However, it is not just for 8 and 12-year-olds, okay? The connection with nature is part of what we're doing in all of this. And with the hot springs, we went to, what was the name of the canyon? Is
Banff was the first one.
Marble Canyon.
Oh, you want to talk? Oh, yeah, the Marble Canyon was yesterday. Yeah.
It this waterfall that cut deep through the stream. It was about I guess about a mile up and back as a hike. But the way it's carved through the rock, the way that the water just speaks to you is absolutely amazing. Between the mountains and the water in the hot springs. Let me just talk about the hot springs. Wow. But we've been to three different hot springs right now. We went to Banff, we went to Radium, and we currently are in Fairmont. And I didn't know anything about a hot spring. I didn't know what it was. I've always been drawn to water, usually the sea. And it's amazing. I've sat in it for 2 hours and I don't get wrinkled. You get pruny. You sit in the bath water too long, you get pruny, right? You don't get pruny. You do get overheated at times. And your body just kind of melts into it. You go into the cold side, you bring your body temperature up, you come back down, you sit in it. It's just absolutely amazing and so healing. And today we went up into the mountains. Holy moly. So we went on a dirt road that was 25 kilometers long.
Yeah, 22 kilometers to where we went. Yeah.
20, okay, so it's a logging road. For anybody who's been on a logging road, it was a nice logging road, but it was a logging road nonetheless. Rocks and gravel and everything else. The car ended up white, pretty much. But she had this particular spot where we just sat and communed, and then Angel did her healing. And I know that my eyes were shut the entire time. She beat the heck out of me, and honestly, it was so grounding. I almost didn't come out of it. Couldn't come out of it. I was really struggling to speak after the work. We were by this beautiful river, and the water is so clear. You can. It's just as blue as water can be. You know how you see the Caribbean and you see the ocean and it's blue, clearer and bluer than anything I've seen. This is glacial water, and it is just extraordinary. Cold too, by the way, very cold, and it is just beautiful the way that the mountains reflect back from it. We were taking pictures today that they put on jigsaw puzzles that are just reflections of the mountains into the water, and they were spectacular. So all of this grounding, all of this coming into nature, communing, finding yourself. Because the one thing I asked before in coming to this was about to get grounded, and I have grounded so deeply. It is really life altering in that aspect. Other than that, nothing much has happened this week.
No, I've seen some photos and stuff, and I've been having my.
We would love to have had you. This is, but because it truly is a once in a lifetime for me because of the way that everything is connected all the way down the line. Angel is revisiting her childhood. She has gone to places she hasn't been to in years. She is having so much fun showing us all those parts of places that she's been, being able to explain the energies that are around us. And the mountains each have different energies as we walk through all of this. Each of this Banff is different, then Radium is different from Fairmont is different from where we were today up by Swan Lake. and it's a very different feel. When we went to Peru and you talk to the mountains, the Apus, they have a very similar feel, all of them. Here, each kind of small range within the Rockies has a very distinct vibration, and it speaks differently. It's really unusual. And this one's been a trooper.
Yeah. Yeah. Christina, why don't you share some of your experience this week?
I don't really know what he means by that.
She's put up with me and everything else going on. Okay, so he is a trooper.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a whirlwind week. It's strange to think that we're on Tuesday evening. Let's see. So last week was like going just from that normal hustle and bustle every day, work, life, and then running out to meet these guys and meet up with them on Saturday and start to come out here. It's definitely been a shift to be in this present moment as opposed to that everyday timeline that we have to be in just to survive. Yeah, we went to Banff. We didn't talk about the gondola.
Let's talk about the gondola. Yes.
We did ride up the gondola, which is an 8-minute ride, 2 kilometers up the mountain. It seats 4, so we had our own little, little cocoon going up. I've talked about it before. I'm terrified of heights. Like,
This was a stretch.
terrified of heights. I didn't scream that much, so it was
Just a
good.
little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah. But it was nice. It was nice to go up there. We had lunch up at the top, and it was just beautiful. The weather has just cooperated so well. And the other thing about these areas that we've really noticed, we really noticed it a lot in Banff and Canmore, but here as well, is really how multicultural it is out here. And not just tourists. People come here to work. We had a waitress the other night who was here from Australia on a 2-year work visa. So she's working at the restaurant, exploring during her times off. In the winter, she has another job lined up further west in BC. So just really seeing all of these people coming to work, more than just visiting, but really living here for a while. And they're going to take these experiences back home with them too. So that's really been cool to see too.
Yeah, I was very proud of Christina on how she dealt with the gondola, because that so far I think has been your biggest stretch this week.
I feel like there was another one, but I feel like I've blocked it out. So
Did you ride it? First of all, did you ride it both up and down?
we did ride it both
Yes.
up and down. So yeah, in the past, so it used to be that if you hiked up the mountainside, you could ride down for free.
Yeah.
They no longer do that. You have to buy a ticket to come back down, even if you hike up. We used to hike up with the kids, and it at a good pace, it's a 2-hour hike. I am not right now. There's no way I could do that right now. So yeah, we took the gondola up, and I think Scott's got some amazing pictures from the gondola as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. The energy is different based on whether you're at the bottom of the mountain or whether you're at the peak, right? You're feeling the elevation on the way up. And yeah, it's almost like you're standing there and you're surveying the kingdom. And then there's a literal castle at the bottom of the mountain that you're looking at. For me, you can really tap into that king, queen energy if you give yourself the time to stand there and open, get into your space. You're looking around, and then you're literally physically seeing like a castle-like building. And that's amazing energy. And you don't get to experience that very often unless, like, Canada is such a new country. Like, to get those kind of feelings, you got to head to Europe, right? And so the fact that what I'm learning, witnessing it through Scott's eyes for the first time being in this area, we take for granted what we had in our backyard growing up as children. This was my playground. It's all I knew. You don't understand how special it is until you're now doing this and bringing people who understand energy. And then when you're witnessing it through their eyes, then you can translate it on a deeper level because of the work we've done. Right. And so It's kind of when they say you read a book and then you get something different every time you read the book. I'm getting something different, witnessing it through Scott, and then the other participant that's here is a 14-year-old girl, right? And so having, the generational difference, like we're traveling with 3 different generations. That also is not what you normally see in a retreat. And right, because usually you have your target market and everybody's at the same space or whatever, right? And this is not that. And so as a facilitator, that has been my greatest challenge. How do you keep the 14-year-old girl happy? How do you keep Christine, like all 3 of the people that are on this trip are in completely different spaces, different gender, different things they're clearing, and we all know how interesting being a 14-year-old girl is, and especially during this time on Earth, right? And so navigating that, and the other thing is she is biologically connected to me. And so this is family. And so navigating that. So as a facilitator, I have also been stretched. And the first day, because we know how judgmental teenagers are. And so we all together, all of us, have developed our own kind of language, and like we're literally developing new ways to share the information because she's stretching us. Because if you think I'm spicy, oh my goodness, right? And so she's challenging. She will ask questions because I've given her permission to do that, because fifth agreement, right? And talk about being skeptical. When we were in Banff, one of the pictures, if you go look at the reels, Scott's laying down meditating in that little baby pool, right? She was like, I don't know him, and I'm going to go on the other side of the pool because that's weird. And then when we went to Radium, I'm giving every single one of them different homework. And usually on a retreat, everybody gets, okay, this is what we're doing, everybody go do their thing. But no, I have had to create individual programs for all 3 of them, and they each get their own thing because, right? And so when Scott and Christina went to do their homework in Radium, now Radium is 4 times the size of Banff. And so she was very excited that she could be far away from them when they did their homework. Because they're weird.
You're weird. But can I talk about our hotel the first night and what happened?
Please do.
So part of this retreat, it's inner child work. We're stalking joy. We're trying to have fun. And I had said so Charlotte had agreed to this before we came. I said, oh, do you want me to bring those animal onesies? I have 3 women adult animal onesies. Okay. There's a dinosaur, there's a giraffe, and there's a unicorn with wings. And Charlotte in the background, yes, bring them. So we get to our hotel. The 3 of us, Angel, myself, and Charlotte, get into them. We convince Charlotte. She convinces Charlotte, don't worry, we're not going to run into anyone in the hallway.
She's like, I don't want to see anybody. This is embarrassing. No way. I'm not leaving the hotel room in my onesie. No way.
So they're 2 floors below mine, right? They're coming up to my room. Okay.
And yeah, we start walking down the hall. We're halfway to, these guys come around the corner from the elevators. This group of hot young guys, probably early 20s. Charlotte is going to die. And they're trying to
convulsing.
These guys are just like not saying a word, trying to be so respectful.
And I look straight in their face. I'm like, it's okay. You can laugh. It's really funny. And they just burst out laughing.
And
Charlotte's convulsing.
As soon as we got to his room.
She did what to
That's
it off?
it.
She stripped it
She took
right
it
off.
I'm not aware of this.
You told me nobody would see me. And I'm like, thank you, universe, for stretching Charlotte on the very first couple of hours of our retreat.
So,
It was
so
the
the
best.
stretch was not that she put it on; it's just somebody saw her.
That's right.
It was.
Good on.
It was.
Yes, I'm
It was.
following.
Yeah, 4 hot guys. She'll never forget that. That is imprinted, and we will talk about that forever. That's going to be a thing.
Funny enough, though, that's one of the things that most guys would probably find pretty attractive if you could do that and then
Well,
laugh at yourself. And yeah,
I know, but yeah, at 14, they don't understand that,
yeah,
right?
I know.
And
I know.
so
I remember.
I yeah, yeah. And so we had to have the talk. And so what that did, because it happened so early, like that was our first night, it happened within an hour of us starting. And this is why what I said about having to learn new language. And so I said that was a stretch. That uncomfortable feeling when you feel like you're going to crawl out of your skin and you're convulsing, that's a stretch. And so I said, you got to be the first one to be stretched. And she's like, when do the rest of you get to be stretched? And then I said, even as a facilitator, I'm going to have my turn. I'm going to be stretched too. This is not just you. You watch. And I said, you wait and you'll watch. And then everybody's going to have a turn. And everybody is going to get to hold for the person who's being stretched. And she clung to that. And so, sure enough, because we know this is why we do this, and I have an agenda, and I know when the stretching is going to happen, when you make a loose plan, and then the universe takes over, right? And so every time, because with Christina dealing with her medical stuff, this was a stretch for her to even come to be able to navigate what going on holidays with this new experience for her, right? And so we knew she was going to be stretched, and it did happen. And so it gave me an opportunity to say, now it's Christina's turn to get stretched. And so the teaching was able to happen, and I could educate her on what that looks like when somebody hits a 10, right? And so it was really cool. And then, and I did tell her that it was going to be my turn eventually, and my turn came last night. And because yesterday we went 2 full days hard, and so everybody's inner child was overwhelmed and activated by the time we got back last night. And yeah, and so her and my turn happened simultaneously, and it was beautiful because I got to say to her, see, I do the work with you. That was my turn to get stretched, and I gave you the opportunity to hold, and you got to hold for me. This is how this works.
Yeah.
Because just because I'm a facilitator doesn't mean I'm not in the work, right? And so it really gave her an opportunity to see that healthy facilitators are in it as a team. It's not the guru space and the control space. We're doing the work together. Yes, on every single team, there's a captain and an assistant. When I played ringette for 10 years, there was a captain and 2 assistants. There's always somebody that's just how it works when you're on a team. There's different roles everybody plays. Doesn't mean one's better than the other. And so this has been so beautiful to show her that what I said, I walked my talk, and I was vulnerable and allowed her to have that. It was her turn to hold. She got a turn to hold. And I don't know if she'll ever forget that. It was a pretty impactful moment for us.
That's awesome. It sounds
right.
like a beautiful moment.
It really was. Yeah. Yeah. And then today at the river, because we know when we facilitate this stuff, sometimes your energy gets blown out. And it's because Charlotte and I had that huge thing last night. I was tired, and my body ached this morning, and I was like, oof, I need a minute. We started an hour and a half later than I wanted to get out because I needed time to take care of myself to be able to, because I knew what was happening today. And then I needed to be ready. And when we went to the river, like I've been on and holding, and at the river, I said, you guys got 20 minutes, connect before we do the next thing. And I took my drum, And I connected. It was going to make me cry. I started singing to the water and called in 4 directions and just completely surrendered. And the clear out was real. I don't really remember it, but I just said, just take it all. Just it ripped the band-aid off, and it was the warrior way. I called in the 4 directions and they said, rip this shit out of me, just take it. And it was one of the most beautiful experiences that I have allowed the universe to give me. And I pushed myself because I'm done holding that shit. I'm just done. And when I walked back to the group, I didn't even feel like I had skin. Just connected. And when you get in that space, like you don't have a brain, right? And so I was in full surrender, and I just said out loud to the water, I'm like, you took my brain away. So now you have to move my body and show me where to go. What do you want me to give to these 3 humans? What do you want me to give? And when I came over to Christina, I could tell she was really deep and tucked into a log. So she had Mama Nature, like she was literally laying on a log with her feet on the rocks, and I was drawn to her head. So I did a lot of upper stuff with her, but soft, because she had done so much work. Also, I'm sure they could hear the drum. Like I went quite a ways away, carries over the water, and then with the little one, she was so clear from all the other days. I just did a little bit of rattling and didn't even touch her, just soft, like barely anything. And then I got Scott. Yeah. And he had, you can see it. I gifted him about one of my power objects that I've been carrying around for almost 20 years, 15 years. It's blue obsidian. It's how I connected to Archangel Michael in the beginning, and obsidian, right? And so he had that on, and because it was my power object, it was very easy for me to just get right in and do what I needed to do. And I feel like in the beginning, it was clearing a lot of heart stuff out, grief, still a lot of grief in there that I cleared, and then opened the third eye and crown. And what he was talking about with that I was, what did you say? That I was beating you up or something? There was some stretching and some activating of the wings, and that was Archangel Michael. I just completely released and allowed whatever needed to happen. And then tell her what you said after we were done, when you were looking into my eyes.
Oh, gee, so she beats the heck out of me for I don't know how long. Okay, just
I stretched him. That's it. I was like doing this. I was just stretching his arms back.
I got stretched on it. And then she said, look at my eyes. And when I looked into her eyes, I saw the river, the water, the land, and she and the land were one. And there was no difference. The same energy of what, I don't know, I've never seen this happen myself. She was the energy of the land where we were standing. All of that energy was right there. And it's almost like I looked into her eyes and I just was right there with, yeah. So it was compelling in that I don't know if you've had these experiences, and I'm sure you have, where you wonder, is it my imagination? Am I really? Is it? But this was so tangible. I looked into her eyes and I felt the earth, and it was her. And this is where she belongs. I know she grew up here, but this is where she belongs. She was so excited taking us there to show us everything. And it's absolutely stunning. It's splendid. It's beautiful. It's huge. The drops on the mountains, they drop down to nothing. The edge of the road, you look over it, and mind you, it's a logging road, so there's no bumpers, no guardrails, no anything. And it just goes, and it goes
Straight
down
down.
300, 400, 500 feet. So it's sometimes it's terrifying, but it was absolutely stunning. And to be able to see nature especially the water, it's just so powerful, but yet so peaceful. It is there. I kept throwing rocks in and they splash, but then it just goes with the flow. And I took that as a metaphor for life, in that no matter what happens, what interruption happens, everything just keeps going. Right? We always say, if we have a loss, the world doesn't care, it just keeps on going. Right? Everything around us keeps on going. It absorbs it and it just keeps on going. So it's going with the flow. Right? Always talking about going with it. And so much of our life is spent swimming like a salmon, swimming upstream, going against the current and having all this energy, when if we just allow it all to just take us where we need to go, we don't have the same problems. We don't have that same energy. We don't have that same resistance. And I hope that's not a long way of answering a short question, but yeah, the experience was found.
Yeah, and the energy is palpable. And we literally raced down the hill, threw some food in our faces, and came on here. Like I still feel like I'm pulsing with the energy from the mountain because and I'm so glad that we got to share it. And I love that you saw some of the reels. Was there anything that hooked your attention, or that you had questions about, or something that triggered an inspirational thought or anything?
Are you talking about to me?
Michonne.
No, I've done the Colorado Rockies and
Yeah.
some of the similar things, and so it just was those images of the blue waters, the still snow-capped mountains, all of that stuff. And the time of year, knowing you're doing it while it's warm out, and knowing you guys were getting blessed with a little bit of extra heat, so even if it had been cool. And then the hot spring thing has just been on my mind all year, wanting to go, wanting to be in them. Yeah.
We'll get you here, girl. We'll get you here.
And then my Banff earlier this year, so I was like, oh.
What?
Yeah, like last month
Oh.
in June, they went for their anniversary or whatever, my nephew and stuff. So.
Oh man, the universe is dangling those hot springs in front of your face.
We'll see. Maybe I could get my niece to. Maybe that conversation I had about my niece. Maybe I'll revisit that with my sponsorship. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been so amazing. It's been so amazing. And to be able to share it with the next generation, Charlotte and I have walked through. I haven't spoken to my daughter since she was 14. And so to be able to share it with our youngest, the last of our lineage, who is 14, it has been profound for me and very healing to be able to share it with her. So big heart healings, big inner child healings, and segue to Scott's inner child. Tell Michonne about Tedward.
Okay, so first night she comes in and she lays all these stuffed animals. I'm 68, by the way. So she has all of these animals laid out on on the bed, and she's like, take an animal. I'm like, I'm not going to take an animal. And then there is the bear. So now the bear, you have to name it. And teddy bear, right? His name is Tedward because he's going to be traveling with me. So wherever we go, he goes and he gets a picture taken. I would send a picture of the room I'm in to my wife and say, hey, this is what the room looks like. So I put the bear on the bed and I take the picture of the room so that he's always in it. He's on the mountain, he's by the pool, he's everywhere else. So now he's become a star in his own right, and he keeps asking to get his picture taken. So I don't even know when I've played with a stuffed animal since I was probably 60 years. So it's a little unique.
But he's certainly turned heads.
Yes.
Which
So-
table is that? Oh, the one with the bear on it. When they brought our
Yeah.
food, things like that.
You'll know it.
Now,
I usually have him out of the backpack. And he's just his head,
waving.
and he's got his arm up, and he's
Yeah, I
just
saw that on one of Angel's reels, I think. So obviously part of the assignment was not for the stuffed animal to have to travel with, or was it?
Nope.
Because I
Well,
don't see any of the other animals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and we'll introduce him in a second. So because I'm not going to force anybody to do anything. Like you said on our last podcast, you can present and the teachers will give homework and you can decide whether you just want to look at it surfacely or whether you want to dive. And Scott did talk about the hesitation in the beginning, and then in the morning he had decided to dive. Now, it's very interesting. Like I said, individual lesson plans for everybody. I didn't have to do this exercise with Christina. Christina, would you like to introduce your friend?
You pass him to me. So, okay.
Whole story, yeah.
First, oh well. Now
Like-
this is Robert Cat, Bobcat for short, and he's been traveling with me for a few years now. I acquired him at work. He bears an uncanny resemblance to one of my real live cats at home. Pink nose, same markings. It's crazy. So whenever I travel, I have traveled with Robert in the passenger seat of my car, buckled in, of course.
Seatbelt and all.
Yeah, so he's been coming back and forth with me, and I brought him along, and so he and Tedward seem to be getting along okay, so no big problems there. But yeah, it's just fun. I guess I feel when you're in the car by yourself and you're on these long drives and you're always processing and your mind is always going, and it just feels, let's say, when you're talking to yourself, you're not really talking to yourself because there's someone else there, I
You're
guess.
talking to your bear.
I don't know how it sounds normal. Maybe it's, but yeah, it's just been a travel companion. And so, yeah, it came along on this journey because it was inner children and summer camp and just seemed appropriate.
So you said I'm not picking an animal from that pile. I have my own.
I kind of did. She's like, oh,
Yeah.
would you rather use yours? I said, yeah, I would.
Yeah, because here's the thing. This was a whole new experiment for Scott.
Yeah.
However, Christina did not know that I was going to do this.
Yeah.
Robert came without knowing that there was an assignment with the bear. And so you're looking at a kindergarten and university student, right? With the babies. And Charlotte chose a dragon, and the dragon stays in her suitcase and does not leave the bed. So everybody is processing their own way. However, because that dragon was her cousin's, my son's, it was Curtis's, it's very special to her because it was Curtis's. So she's having her own processing with family through that. So each one of them are having different experiences with the stuffed animals.
Yeah, so he started actually at work. We were using shopping carts to sort toys and do things after Christmas, and I had him sitting in the front like a child for days. So I'd be pushing the cart with him in it, doing whatever I had to do, and it was just there. And finally, my boss is like, "Just take just take it home. Just take it home." That's how he came home with me. And inner child, where is it? Can't find it. Maybe it's gone. He has a squeaker. He does have a squeaker. It's in his foot now.
Yeah, but and Scott, share how the process of having the bear, because you said that you had said to me something about it's activated things in you that you haven't experienced before, or something like that.
Well, not since I was a young kid.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, I had a dog, and a fuzzy dog, and it had a squeaker like that in the ear, and I got it when I was 3 years old when we were in France, and I had the chicken pox, and I remembered that, and I kept it till after I got married, which is weird. It was sitting among, how you have the box of stuff that you, and I finally got rid of it, but it just kind of always was a part of me, and it's very odd having an attachment or giving emotion to an inanimate object, right? We put emotions into things. And so doing that is just reliving childhood.
In the most honest way.
You just made the Velveteen Rabbit story like flash through my mind, and how he's
Yeah.
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's been very interesting too, as the pictures have come today. Both Robert and Tedward had their first together picture at the river, so stay tuned. Yeah, as we were about to leave, I said to Scott, "Oh, we need to do a group picture." And I grabbed the stuffed animals. He's like, "Oh, I thought you meant the humans." I'm like, "Oh yeah, we could do one of those too."
So it's been fun. It would have been fun to have you along.
it would have been. We'll have to get on the train for next year. Do you guys for what you have one more day of adventure, or?
We leave tomorrow morning and head back to Calgary. So tomorrow, it's about a 3.5 hour drive home. We may, depending on how everybody feels, we may hit another one place maybe on the way home, just depending on how we're feeling. I'm really going to flow with tomorrow and see. The clear out at the lake at the river was the final clear out, because you crack them open the first day, and then we clean out the stuff, and then today was the final clear out. And so now it's just soft integration. We're going to go into the hot springs tonight and just have some fun and get up in the morning and head out and just meander our way home. We don't need to be there till about 6. So we really have all day just to explore, and wherever we see, it's just an unguided, a divinely guided day tomorrow. I don't have anything planned. The ceremony at the river today was a last big ceremony that we were going to do.
Okay.
And now it's just, yeah. It's been amazing. It's been an incredible trip. And I think it's just really important to say that when you're facilitating, you're in it too. And this has been so incredible for me, especially with what I've been through the last year and a half and trying to get my feet back underneath me, to be able to go back to my roots, to the places that I grew up, and reactivate those childhood memories and connect back into my safe spaces. And it's been so lovely traveling with Scott, because he is so aware, and he is a master in his own right, in his own medicine. And in my experience, there are a lot of men that are doing this work that will not surrender and try to take over. And Scott is just so respectful and holds such beautiful space in his own right. And so to be able to know that I'm safe, to let my inner child come out that deeply, knowing I'm safe, that was huge. So thank you, Scott. Thank you for that piece. Yeah, it's been great. And I don't want to speak for Christina, so maybe she can speak for herself in what your experience, because there's been some big forward movement with you too, with having a healthy masculine around to work with. Hey, I cried. You cry too. I can feel it.
It's not that there hasn't been, but I don't know what words to use right now.
Yeah,
I have a lot of like big feelings, big emotions, but I just don't know how to express them right now.
yeah. You just did by that. That's how big it is. That's how big it is, right? And it just goes to show once again, just because I pulled this together and knew the places to go, we have all impacted each other in profound ways, including Charlotte. Charlotte has baseball batted all three of us in her own way. She was an active participant
Right.
in what we experienced
Yep.
this week.
It's the dynamic. I always find in any group, everybody starts to feel their way through it and they take the honor roll, right? But if you don't allow them to stay in the role and just be themselves, everything shifts. And that for me has always been to observe and to be able to hold space and to be able to allow people the safety of being able to be themselves, to express themselves, to be able to feel safe in anything they're doing. And because all these things come out, and that's a lot. It's fun. But it's also the way the world should be, is in that you feel safe to be able to express yourself.
So I wanted to say too, tonight when we went for dinner, we went to this, it's just like a family restaurant, a locally owned family restaurant called Huckleberries, just normal food. And we're in there and there's one other table with a couple kids, a family, and the little boy came running up to our table and the mom's like, "Oh no, wrong family." And I think that really hit me profoundly because I thought the dynamic that we have, the bonding that happens on things like this, where you do feel like a family, but that energy was so strong that it radiated from us that somebody else said that. And it was just confirmation that, yeah, we're here together. And that's what we're doing right now. And just that sense of belonging.
And we know kids are attracted to light, and that kid beelined to our table.
Oh yeah, he was like, came over, yeah. He's like, "Hi, how are you?" And he was like, "Whoa."
Like he literally was like, yeah,
It's been fun. It's been fun to observe everything. The multiculturalism without from the tourists. There's Japanese, there's Filipino. These are just who I've spoken with and talked to, and Indian, and everybody just they bring their family. How many grandparents there are with grandkids here is just absolutely amazing. They bring everybody up here. It's just so wonderful to see. So
yeah,
anyway,
yeah, yep, yep. It's just been incredible. So one more day, one more soak.
more so, and it's that part's been wonderful. It's really grounding. If you've never been in the hot springs, for anybody who's listening, it really is really grounding. You're tired afterwards, but it's the best possible tired. You almost feel like there's a cleansing going on. And I understand why there's always been a medicinal aspect to them.
Yeah, yeah. The one thing I'd like to share that Charlotte said, she was at a 10 a day and a half ago, and so she's been a trooper. And then when we went out today, she was very tired. And when I said, "You have to get out of the car to do this piece," she laid down on the rocks by the river, and I covered her up and I said, "You did because meditation." I'm like, "Just go to sleep. You can just lay here and have a nap. We don't, that's all you need to do." Sound bowl healing type stuff, right? And so I'm drumming and sending the energy to all the people and doing the work far away from her. And when she got up, she looked at me and she's like, "I think that was the best sleep I have ever had in my life." And I said, that's amazing. I said, do you want to do some singing? And she's like, yeah. Oh, Rashawn, you're going to love this. So all of our Ignite chants that we learned, for my groups, I laminated a piece of paper so that they could read them. And about 2 weeks before we left, I screenshotted it and sent it to Charlotte. We got on Zoom and I taught her all the songs. And I said, if we get a chance during the camp, I would love to sing with you because this girl has got a voice. She does acting, dancing, and singing every Saturday for an hour each. And so I thought, okay, here's my moment. Because she's like, that was the best sleep I ever had. I'm like, awesome, want to sing? Yes, let's sing. You got to catch them at the right time. I had probably 2 drums, 6 or 7 rattles, a whole bunch of musical instruments, probably 20 musical instruments, I would guess. She wanted the drum that I was drumming with. And I'm like, absolutely, you can use my drum, that's fine. And so I took a rattle and we went through the entire list of all the songs. We sang them all 3 times. Yeah, how special that was, singing with my niece by the river, all of our songs. So that was special, very special. And that's how we ended it. We finished singing those and then we packed up and we left and that was the end. Yeah, it's amazing. It was amazing. It's going to be a trip that I won't ever forget. That's for sure.
I bet.
Yeah.
And you're going to do it next year.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. I will. I think probably when I post this video, I will put up a wait list sheet or get on the email list for this type thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, because yeah, I'm on something here. It was amazing. So yeah, so looking forward to that, and I'm at a loss for what we're stocking this next week. If we have any dreaming homework, oh, guess what? When we got back into the car, guess what showed up on my rear view mirror or on my side rear mirror?
Frog? No, a spider.
A spider web, a full spider web. A full spider web. I took a picture of it. It's not the greatest, but I'm like, I need to at least show Michonne. It was not there when we got to the river, and it was there when we left the river.
Nice. Very cool.
Full spider web. Yeah, I was like, oh, wow. There we go. You were there.
Yay.
So cool. It was so cool. Yeah. So, yeah. So I think maybe we just keep going with the thrive, and you did your clear out, and you're right. We know when you ask for something, you got to have the clear out to be able to receive that thing. And so, let's see if it comes in this week for you.
There you go. I'm open.
Open. Oh yeah, we'll send you lots of loves, and I'm gonna send you that spider web picture because it was almost a perfect. It was just little guy. It was like this big. It literally built the whole thing while we were at the river.
So sweet.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, I hope your water stuffs are over now. Yeah. And we will convene next week.
Bye.
Bye, guys.